Hey, this is David Miller with the Miller Group of Keller Williams Realty, and I have with me today Brenda Lyle, and she is the care manager at One Senior Place at Altamont Springs. Brenda, welcome.
Hi, thanks David for having me.
Absolutely. And Brenda, why don't you share briefly exactly what you do at One Senior One, and then I'll share with everybody what we're going to be talking about today.
So One Senior Place, if you haven't been here before, is a resource center for families and caregivers and of course seniors. It is our goal and our mission to make sure that seniors and their families and other senior living professionals have the information, education, and resources that they need to have a successful retirement and produce successful aging. And here in our building, we have a lot of those resources. You can come and visit in person. And then you also have myself as a care manager who can refer you to the resources that are outside the confines of One Senior Place's walls here. So I do a lot of community referrals.
Absolutely. And actually, I've sent my own parents to Brenda, and she does a great job on assessing their needs and then getting them with the appropriate resources. So the reason I brought Brenda on today is that One Senior Place is rolling out a program called Five Wishes. You might have heard of it before. Personally, I did not until I did go through the workshop, and I thought it would be worth sharing with everybody. So can you briefly sort of share with everybody what the Five Wishes program is about?
Yeah, so Five Wishes is actually a collaboration between a couple organizations, as we have understood that as seniors age, they would like to express what we all, have our end of life wishes. And there's certainly legal ways to express the end of life wishes, but they call the Five Wishes a living will with a heart. So certainly with Five Wishes, we address all the legal aspects of a living will, but it goes above and beyond that. It gives you a lot of different options to create a very personalized end of life experience.
Hmm. So let me ask you this here. Some people listening to this may say, I already have a living will. What's the difference between this and a living will?
So everybody has, or I should say not everybody, everybody should have, but a lot of people create a will as part of their estate plan. Some people go on and create a living will, but often seniors confuse the two words. A will refers to your belongings. A living will refers to your person. So it's a matter of we use our will to give away our belongings when we pass away, but our living will is a guide, and sometimes it's also called advanced directives. But that's a guide that we give our loved ones so that they know how we would like to approach our own end of life scenario.
Okay. So who needs a living will and why?
So interestingly enough, a lot of people don't think about this, but once you turn 18, you are no longer under your parents' thumb anymore. And that also means your healthcare decisions. So in our opinion, anybody over the age of 18 needs a living will or an advance directive, letting their loved ones know what they would like to see happen in a lot of different healthcare scenarios. So it's not just seniors that need a living will. Now, certainly 18 to 25-year-olds don't want to talk about things like this, but this Five Wishes is useful for any ages. You don't have to be a senior to have your Five Wishes written out.
Mhm. And I would assume it just makes it a lot easier for the people that, well, your loved ones, that if something were to happen to you, it sort of gives them a sense of direction on what you want to have take place. And if not, then you might have different opinions within the family on what should be done. So if you do have it in writing, it probably makes it a lot easier for everybody else, doesn't it?
Right. And if nothing else, just looking through the Five Wishes opens up the dialogue with things that you might normally even think to talk to your adult children about. How do you feel about organ donation? How do you feel about being on a ventilator or having artificial means of hydration if you're terminally ill? There's just a lot of things that can be talked about. If you don't feel comfortable putting them in writing at this moment, the five wishes at a minimum opens the dialogue with families so that we can talk about some of the things that are really difficult to think about.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Those are tough discussions to have, but they're so appropriate because a lot of times we don't talk about it because it makes us uncomfortable. And
Right.
but if we do talk about it, and if something were to happen, then as long as we have it in writing, then it's very clear on what your wishes are, and it makes it easier for everybody to follow that. Then is that correct?
Correct. And you can accomplish a few things with the Five Wishes document. It is a legal document in Florida, so if and as well as 44 other states. So if you are using it as a legal document, it can be your legal living will. Within the five wishes, you can name your healthcare surrogate, and that is the person that you would like to choose to make decisions for you if you're in a health situation and you can't make your own decisions. So this document is useful in, in a lot of ways, not only to talk about the decisions I want at end of life, but also, and really important, is who am I going to have those decisions, make those decisions for me if I can't do them myself.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I can really see that's very important. And you said really this isn't just for seniors. This is for anybody who's over the age of 18. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes. Over the age of 18 is when you need to designate another decision maker. Especially if you've got a college student that clearly is single, doesn't have a spouse, and you as a parent would like to have the opportunity to have the conversation and then also become their healthcare surrogate, you can use the five wishes to do that.
So what happens if you don't have that? And I mean, you are you able to share some things that you've seen out there that that has happened that maybe somebody passed sooner than expected or was totally unexpected, and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
I actually have seen a lot of those situations. And it makes life very difficult for your loved ones, which is the last thing you want to happen. But I have seen someone pass away unexpectedly, not have anything written at all, and the family scrambling to trying to figure things out. Now, the goal is to have this document in place ahead of time, and there's a lot of opportunity to talk about things like, do I want a pacemaker? Do I want a feeding tube? Would I want to be on a ventilator? And there are a lot of different scenarios within the five wishes where you can examine that, because clearly in this day and age of COVID, a ventilator is a little different than it might be when you're terminally ill. But there are opportunities to think about, okay, what if this happened? What would I want? And your family is not sitting in a hospital room already under emotional stress thinking about, gosh, what would my loved one want in this situation?
yeah.
So yes, unfortunately, a lot of people don't do. In fact, it's up to 37% now of people do have an advance directive, but that's a long way from where it should be. We
Okay.
need everybody to have an advance directive to let their loved ones know what they want at anytime they encounter their end of life.
So is this a difficult process? I mean, do I need to schedule a time with an attorney to sort of put this together, or is this a little bit easier than that?
Well, I mean, that's up to you. A lot of people will take the five wishes to their attorney. The five wishes only needs to be witnessed. In the state of Florida, it doesn't even have to be notarized. But what's important is that the witnesses cannot be your healthcare surrogate, so you're going to have to choose a couple other witnesses. If you want to take it to your attorney and discuss it, that's absolutely fine, but it doesn't have to be that complicated. You can do your five wishes certainly in the privacy of your own home, have it witnessed by whomever you choose. Here at One Senior Place, I frequently do consultations for people that want help working through the five wishes, and then we have witnesses available here. So it's up to you. Just like the material within the five wishes is very personal, how you choose to execute is very personal also.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have the booklet here that you had passed out, and it looks like it's only about 10 pages. So If I wanted to, I could come by one senior place and pick up the booklet and then fill it out. And then you said just have two people witness it, and I'm
Correct.
assuming notarized as well. And
Nope,
then,
no notary in the state of Florida, only
oh, really?
witnessed.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. So, and then this is something that my family I would want them to follow if something were to happen to me then.
Absolutely. We ask that you please share your 5 wishes with your family members and your healthcare team. Don't lock it away in a lockbox or stick it in your bank so that nobody can get to it. We definitely want you to share it with all the important people in your life.
And make sure they know where to find it.
Absolutely.
That's probably important. So is there a cost to have somebody come by and get this booklet?
Nope, the 5 wishes are free. And like I said, if you even need help filling it out, you can have a consult with me here at One Senior Place. We have been offering Zoom educational seminars on how to fill out the 5 wishes, and we will do that again in the future if you want to jump in on one of those. And in some instances, I have mailed 5 wishes to people. So if you're not able to get in, but you really want your own copy, I can mail them. If you are tech savvy, there is a link at 5wishes.org where you can do it online. So there's
Okay.
multiple ways to fill out your 5 wishes.
Okay. Well, what we'll do is we'll put below here your contact information, and we'll put the link to One Senior Place so they can go on there and check out when the next Zoom meeting is, because I'm assuming you'll provide a lot more detail, and it probably provides an opportunity that you can answer some questions that people might have then.
Absolutely. Stay
Perfect.
tuned to One Senior Place.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Well, Brenda, I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you sharing this information. And as I mentioned to everybody, if you have any questions on this here, it's a great opportunity. If you don't have anything set up, or even if you have something set up, you might want to take a look at it, because one of the things I'm sure everybody wants to do is to make sure that everybody's clear in the family on what you're looking for so they can follow that. And once again, make sure they know where to find it after you're done with it. All right. Thanks, Brenda.
Thank you, David.
All right. Take care.